Hello and welcome. In the introductory video to levels 1 and 2 was the summary showing the core elements, the second being on information gathering and perception. Firstly, it is obviously not possible to make good assessments and decisions on inadequate information. That's illustrated in the flowchart video, Route to a Good Decision. To get all the information, we need to be fully alert. And that's not a case of waiting for information to come to one's attention, because that way one could easily miss something of vital importance. It is, therefore, a matter of ensuring that we are properly focused on the job in hand. The machine we are managing can and does kill people. Every 16 minutes, someone is either killed or injured on UK roads. The standard term in the advanced driving world for getting, assessing and acting on information is called observation and planning, or O&P for short. So the first question is, how far ahead should we be looking, assessing and making decisions? The answer is, as far ahead as possible, or to the full extent of vision. And so we're looking for the view past these vehicles, traffic lights, currently red. So there's a reasonable chance we might change to green by the time we get there. Still got a green, got activity on this parked vehicle on the other side, just give it a little bit.
Shallow left-hand bend ahead, mirrors clear. Got a view down the near side, lead vehicle, no sign of brake light. It's these two, this red one behind the van, that's the main.
The threat perception in most drivers is, in my view, generally very low, and is related to a higher risk profile. It is also associated with not paying proper attention or looking and thinking far enough ahead, which often means that drivers get too close to situations before reacting to them, as in this example.
Opposing traffic, so we're not going to go over the centre line. Face of opposing traffic, we had to come out and around that one, didn't we? What's the one on the right going to do? Coming up in the opposite direction?
And here it is again. Firstly, we see the opposing traffic, the van, has gone wide on the curve when joining from the left, which suggests a keen right foot and probably an eagerness to proceed. As a result, it ends up close to the near side curb. This is a position of weakness for what is to follow. We will explore suitable techniques and strategies for properly managing this type of scenario in level 3. For the moment, it is suffice to say that neither driver was looking and thinking ahead, resulting in the van driver performing a last-minute evasive manoeuvre to avoid a potential crash. There are times when view to the rear can be almost equally as important as that to the front. For good awareness and information gathering, it's important to have the best and widest view possible without obstruction to vision. Unfortunately, many modern vehicle designs do not facilitate this, to the extent that one Range Rover Vogue owner says he treats the vehicle like a van and only uses the side mirrors. This subject will also be dealt with in more detail in level 3. Suffice to say at this stage that there is a legal requirement to keep all windows clean and clear of obstruction to vision. And interestingly, contravening a must in the highway code is an offence. On the view to the front, that includes items hanging or extending downwards from the central rearview mirror, and generally any items within the sightline fixed to the windscreen. It is said that a valuable asset for leading politicians is having political antenna, that they should be able to see situations before they evolve. Similarly, in road driving, only being aware of threats which happen to fall into one's sightline is perhaps only a third of the story. The other 2/3, and the ones which almost certainly contribute to the greatest level of safety, are having the antenna, to suss out danger before it occurs. That way we are ahead of the game.
No pavement. Into a 40 brake lights ahead. So I had to see what that was about. Possibly a cyclist going to overtake. Oh, biggie, mirrors brakes. Get out of his way. Not the space to go through on the near side. Not taking any prisoners. The tall young chap on the
Not that I saw. Okay, checking pedestrians beyond this vehicle on the near side. Checking the lights. Watching for amber until on green. Checking stop sign pedestrian and monitoring behind. Staying here, we're going to stay in lane 2.
Speed for view has an intimate association with observation and planning. Many drivers have either a distinct reluctance to reduce speed when it would be appropriate to do so, or do not recognize the need or value for doing so, which again means they're often not looking and thinking far enough ahead. The approach speed was obviously massively too fast. We can see multiple suspension bounces, also indicating multiple jabs of the brakes, showing the driver only tried to adjust the speed in the imminence of the situation, and the multiples also indicating only reluctantly, which made it a highly crash vulnerable situation. As we know, great play is made by the government, and through that the road safety agencies, that speed kills. This is based on the strategy that above a certain speed, impact with a human can kill. Below that it will, on average, and to a greater or lesser degree, be an injury. Fair enough, up to a point. Understandably, this has created a mindset where the moment the word speed is mentioned, everyone goes into a state of paranoia. So let's try to put it into perspective. The police can train drivers to be safe at very high road speeds, so speed itself is clearly not the issue. Speed does not kill. People kill, often through hapless management of a machine. That means it is firstly our responsibility to manage our own safety on the roads, both for those outside the vehicle as well as those inside. The first thing to appreciate about speed is that it is neutral. It is how and when it is used which is the important bit, and if people don't get the speed right for the circumstances, that's when problems occur. The second point is that speed is a magnifier of errors. I once asked a police driving instructor what the art of driving fast is. The reply was one of those deceptively simple answers with a lot of depth. He said, "The art of driving fast is knowing when to go slowly." You can remove the word fast and it comes to the same thing. I know that many of those instructors would often be slower where others would not be, mainly because their threat perception was so much higher. Remember that key phrase, the art is knowing when to go slowly. It's a keynote expression and vital for safety. The subject will be fully dealt with in Level 3. A key element is in the Highway Code, paragraph 126, where it says, drive at a speed that will allow you to stop well within the distance you can see to be clear. That is probably the most important paragraph in the whole of the Highway Code for drivers and riders. So speed for view means always having a speed whereby you can pull up comfortably in the distance seen to be clear. If that can't be achieved, or if one has to hit the brakes firmly, then the speed was too high in the first place. Low threat perception and too high a speed for the circumstances are two key elements which greatly increase vulnerability to crashes. Reducing the vulnerability to crashes is the key to what this is all about. Key statement. To the average driver, safe means not having had a crash. To the skilled driver, safe means not being vulnerable to a crash. Thanks for watching. The next video will be on method and management. I look forward to seeing you then.